So if you give it consent, it'll record the video and we can share this to YouTube later. And then for class today, it is not required, but suggested either a yoga strap or something that acts like a yoga strap with some like girth to it, right? Like a yoga strap has some thickness to it. So a dog leash might not be our jam for today, but instead of a yoga strap, I'm going to use a dish rag just to show you that anything can be a yoga prop if you let it. But we'll go ahead and start by finding our seat. And then getting situated. So first things first, we'll set our props aside. And then we're going to scoot towards the edge of our seat until the pads of our feet are planted and we feel our sits bones catch. And our sits bones, it's like that bony protrusion right underneath each booty cheek. And as you scoot forward in your chair, what happens is those sits bones catch on the edge of the chair and they tilt the pelvis forward. Let me show you what I mean here. So I'm sitting on the edge of my chair, or I'm sitting on my chair. And as I scoot towards the edge, once my sits bones catch, look at my belly. So you see the low back comes in instead of rounds. That's exactly what we're looking for here. So from this place, pads of the feet planted, really feeling those sits bones pressing down into the supports beneath you, we'll take a deep breath and press length up through our spine. Exhale, let the shoulders melt from the ears. Let's do that a few more times. Inhale deeply into the body. Let it lengthen you through the spine, pressing through the top of the head. Exhale, melt the shoulders. Breathing like this, filling the body deep, the belly, the lungs. With each inhale, each exhale, melting the shoulders, but keeping all of that length that you've made. Relaxing through the jaw and the tongue as you do this. Beautiful. You might once more find your natural breath here. And then let's check in with our physical body. So closing the eyes or letting the gaze grow fuzzy for a moment, you might scan your physical body and just notice any places of aches. You might run your mind's eye through areas that feel tense. Maybe they feel extra loose if you're my hypermobile group. Sometimes both take place in the body at once. We just take a moment, and we're not here to judge it. We're not here to decide if our low back or our left knee is good or bad. We're just here to witness the needs of our body today. With neutrality, with gentle compassion, we observe the tension in the neck and the jaw. We acknowledge the ache in the belly or the shoulders. And for today, it's not a bad thing. It's just an opportunity for us to honor our physical body in our practice today. From here, we'll bring our palms together at the heart center in Anjali Mudra. You're welcome to open your eyes for this or keep them closed. We're going to cultivate a little love in our palms. So on an inhale, send your breath deep into the heart center. You might feel the heart rise to meet those thumbs here at the chest, and then let that breath go. The shoulders melt from the ears. Again, a deep inhale into the heart center. And then as you exhale, imagine sending all of the love from your heart center down into the palms of your hand. Each inhale, filling the heart center, collecting all of that love. Each exhale sends it down into the palms of the hands. And we're going to start cultivating this energy in our palms by rubbing our palms gently together. So up and down, just like this, a gentle rub of the palms. We continue breathing that love, collecting it in the heart space with each inhale. Each exhale sends it down into the palms of the hands. And you might really just allow your mind's eye to focus on the sensation of each inhale, the expansion of the heart, the stretching in the chest and lungs. Each exhale, sending all of that good energy down through the arms into the palms of the hands. We cultivate love here. And you might help build this energy by imagining all the things that love is. What is love? Love is compassion and empathy. Love is giving someone a break when they need it without judgment. Love is showing up without question because you know they deserve it. Love is holding space and allowing for what is, knowing that it's enough exactly as it is in all of its messiness. And so all the things that love is to you, compassion, understanding, grace, pour those things into the palms of your hands with each exhale. And then when you're ready, allow the palms to still. We'll separate them gently and slowly, centimeter by centimeter, pausing here, feeling the energy that you've cultivated in the palms of your hands. Maybe it's a tingling, maybe it's a warmth. And then when you're ready, and if you'd like, you might place these hands on any part of your body that you found struggling or in need of love earlier. For me, it's going to be my shoulder and my low back. For you, it might be your heart or your mind that are struggling or in need of some love this morning. But we allow ourselves, we pour it out because we deserve it. And so breathe deep here into the body and let yourself soak in all of that energetic love that you've cultivated. Beautiful. When you're ready, release your hands from wherever they are. On an inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Let the gaze follow. We'll find some movement here. Exhale, palms towards the heart center. Inhale, sweeping the arms out and up. You might rise to the top of the head as you do. Exhale, palms towards the heart center. Melt those shoulders from the ears. A lot of little things going on in such a simple movement. So why we explore it again and again without expectation, so that our mind can go on this journey fully, experiencing every new detail each time you meet yourself here. One more time, inhale the arms out and up. This time we're going to interlace them. We're going to grab the elbows above the head. So on an inhale, send the belly forward, send the heart forward, send the elbows back. Breathe here. Let the heart rise towards the sky. You might notice how easy it is to breathe into the belly with it pressed forward. And then we're going to start some windshield wipers, some windmills. And windmills are asking a lot of our obliques and our transverse abdominal muscles, so the trunk of our body. But we're going to use and engage our legs to move through this flow. So on an exhale, you're going to round your heart center down towards that right thigh as far as you'd like. And you might try just a little bit at first. On an inhale, you're going to roll over to the left and then back upright. So let's move with the breath. Exhale towards that right thigh. Inhale, we roll up. And as you move into these windmills, you might explore this flow even more deeply, right? Sinking that heart center down. But know that as you do, this is a strain for the low back, right? Our low back often takes a lot of the heat when rising up from seated. So we press down into the pads of the feet to assist the back. So as you lower the heart center down towards this right leg, Press down through that right foot to support it. Now I'm pressing down through the left to rise up. So try that a few more times, rotating down towards that right leg, pressing down into it, then the left to rise up. Pause at the top when you're ready. Let's switch directions. I know we're almost over. If the arms and the shoulders are aching here, you can do this by gently placing fists at your back and opening up through the shoulders. So on an exhale, lowering that heart center towards that right thigh. Inhale, we roll up. Exhale, roll down towards the left, then the right, then rising, right? Finding your flow with your breath. We'll do this 2 more times, either arms above the head in that windmill, or maybe fingers interlaced or fists at your back. On your next inhale, pressing through that right leg to rise, we remain here. Beautiful. Releasing those hands. On an inhale, sweep that left arm up overhead. Exhale, you're going to lean it on over towards the right as you drop that right arm down towards the earth. Getting this nice stretch all along the left side of the body. We'll hang out here for a moment, breathing into the left side of our rib cage. So with each inhale, we're going to press out through the fingertips of our hands, inviting that breath into the left side of our rib cage. With each exhale, soften into this length. Another breath or 2, and we're pressing down through this right leg, right, to support this whole side of our body. On an inhale, rise up tall. Exhale, release that arm. Let's switch sides. Inhale, left arm rises, or right arm rises, excuse me. Exhale, we lean over towards the left. That left arm drops low, or maybe it hangs out in your lap. And then sending your breath all into the right side of the rib cage. And maybe you can really feel the breath there, and maybe you just imagine it. Both are equally powerful in the work of building new neural pathways. We're pressing down through this left foot, supporting the body in this posture. And then on an inhale of your choice, rise up. Exhale, lower that arm. Let's spend a little bit of time opening up the hips. And we'll do this in Warrior 2. Ooh, my hair's all over already. Warrior 2 is going to look like this. Our right knee is going to slide all the way out towards the right. So I have this 90-degree angle here. And you might hang out here. This is a perfectly beautiful seated Warrior 2 stance, especially if we're protecting our knees down here. So if we want to take a chance with our knee, hypermobile folks, be careful. We're going to extend our left leg out towards the left, all the way left. So the toes of this left leg are pointed in front of you, right? Following your gaze. We're going to check in with this knee. So if the knee is collapsing down towards the earth, you might bend that back in. Otherwise, hang out here. Warrior 2, inhaling the arms out towards our side. And then we gaze in the same direction as this bent knee. Here we are in seated Warrior 2. Here or here, each breath lengthening through the spine, each exhale melting the shoulders from the ears, but keeping those arms parallel with the earth. From here, we'll turn it into an extended side angle by bending this right elbow, planting the forearm on our thigh, sweeping the left arm up overhead. You might see that my left arm and the fingertips of my left toe are on this diagonal line. Oop, diagonal this way. I'm looking in a video at a mirror of myself. So here we are pressing down through the left foot as we press out through the left fingertips. And then on an inhale, we'll rise to peaceful warrior by pressing through this front right foot, sweeping our arms up, and then that right arm rises as our back left hand travels down the back of our thigh. Beautiful. Each inhale, we're lifting through this right arm. We're pressing through the top of our head. And then on an exhale, come back into extended side angle. So planting the back of that forearm, sweeping that left arm overhead. We can find a flow back and forth. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. We'll move with the breath or hang out in your body where it feels good. A few more times. You might challenge your core muscles, and instead of touching the hands down, allow them to float on the body. So if we're doing this, we're pressing even more firmly down through the pads of our feet to rise, so we're not swinging, using those low back muscles. And then when you're ready, back into that warrior two, gazing in the direction of that bent knee. And then release. Let's come back to a neutral seat for a moment. And when you're ready, we'll switch sides. So left knee points out towards the left. This is a beautiful warrior two. We hang out here. Maybe you extend that right leg out behind you if that felt good last time. And then we find our gaze, inhaling length through the spine, exhaling, melting those shoulders. We bend that left forearm, finding extended side angle. Our modified warrior two looks like this. So this is beautiful. We're opening up through the hips. We're using the obliques in a lot of ways. When this leg isn't extended, you're using even more of your core strength to hold yourself up because you don't have this counterbalance. So never underestimate a variation of a posture, because the challenge doesn't necessarily get easy. So often it just changes. When you're ready, inhale to peaceful warrior. Left arm rises, right arm slides down that back thigh. Hanging out here, lifting to the top of the head, lifting through these fingers skyward, and then exhale when you're ready, extended side angle. Finding your flow if that felt good, giving yourself permission to do what you would like. And maybe that is breathing into the stillness of a posture. Maybe that is finding this flow. Maybe that's not touching the arms or the hands down at all. You decide how you want to experience this, but chair yoga is deceitfully difficult. Inhale, rise up to your warrior two when you're ready, and we'll come back to our neutral posture. Wonderful, wonderful. Let's find some seated twists before we end this morning. On an inhale, you might sweep the arms out and up, knowing that wherever you pause is great. Exhale, we're going to take our left hand to our right knee and our right hand behind us. And you might plant it on the chair, the couch, the wall. You might instead plant it on the low back. Wherever you are planting it, we're turning our heart center in the same direction as our gaze over that right shoulder. And we'll pause here for a moment to breathe. Just like we know that inhale, lengthening through the spine. This time as you exhale, drop the shoulders and turn that heart center. These little micro movements allow our mind to stay inside our body. So in yoga, the Yoga Sutras say that the practice of yoga is the calming of the whirlwind of the mind stuff. And we do that by inviting our mind deep into the sensations of our practice to notice all the little details. And when your mind is enveloped in your physical body in sensation without storyline, right? Because that's mind. So when the mind is enveloped in sensation, it's calm. When you're ready, release from this nice long twist. On an inhale, we'll repeat this on the other side. Exhale, right hand to left knee, left hand plants. We turn that heart center and breathe. Maybe you enjoy the rising with each inhale. Maybe you just hang out in stillness. But allow your mind to fully experience the sensations of the body. What does it feel like in the rib cage, this twist? Does sensation change with a deep inhale into the belly and the chest? What about a nice long exhale, releasing every drop of air? We keep the jaw and the tongue relaxed as we explore the body, inviting sensation, exploring every little detail with our mind's eye. When you're ready, release from this twist. We're going to heel toe the feet out. I would say mat width apart, but wider than shoulders by just a bit, right? So here are my shoulders, here are my knees. And then I'm going to plant my palms on top of my thighs, fingertips in. And we're just going to love on the shoulders, the chest, and the rib cage for a little bit before we end practice. So on an inhale, lift tall to the top of the head. On an exhale, you're going to drop that right shoulder down towards the earth. Inhale, rise up, and we're pressing through our palms to do this. Exhale, switch sides. I'm dipping my left shoulder down. Inhale, rise up. So you can really press the palm of the hand into the thigh as you drop the shoulder down. The more you press, the more this becomes a hip and a shoulder stretch. Moving with your breath, nice and slow. Beautiful. On an inhale of your choice, rise up. We'll take a forward fold. So once more when you're ready, inhaling, finding all that length, and then exhale, we're going to send our heart center down towards the earth. And you might keep your palms atop your thighs, bending your elbows close towards the side body as you lower your heart center down. You might eventually release those arms and let them hang or use them as a support for the trunk of your body. You get to decide this morning. We let the head hang heavy, the jaw hang loose. Breathing into the belly and the heart. And then when you're ready, either pressing down into the palms on top of your thighs or pressing strong through the pads of your feet or both, we'll begin to curl up vertebra by vertebra, letting the head hang heavy. And then the head is the last to rise until it floats above the shoulders float above the hips. It's here that we'll end our practice with a very short little shavasana. So from here, we'll scoot back in our chair, fully supporting the length of our spine. If it's possible, you might grab a pillow for the back of your head, or you might gently let it hang forward, relaxing the palms on the thighs or the arms down by your sides. We're looking for effortlessness here. This is always the part of the practice that we want to skip. It's the boring part, the stillness. But it's the stillness that's the most powerful part, because it's here that we're no longer moving and bringing all of these bold sensations into the body to focus the mind and calm it. It's here in stillness that we practice when the mind gets its loudest and its busiest. And we do that by yet again inviting the mind down into the sensations of the body, but this time the subtle sensations, the gentle rise and fall of your breath, the temperature of the air as it enters your nostrils and your lungs, the warmth of your breath as you exhale. Our mind so often wants to wander here, thinking about the future, reminiscing about the past, judging the present. And we acknowledge that those are just the mind trying to help, doing what it's been trained to do unconsciously. And so here we consciously change it, consciously train it, focusing on these gentle and subtle bodily sensations, allowing the body to relax fully here. Time and time again, we come to this Shavasana with the same goal, to invite the mind in. And time again, the mind wanders. That's okay. The more we meet ourselves in this place, the easier it becomes. And so we don't judge good or bad. It just is. When you're ready, you might reawaken your physical body, rubbing your thumbs against your fingertips, curling your toes against the earth. You might find some movement in the wrists and the ankles, inviting that up into the arms and the legs, finding some intuitive movement that feels good in your body. Breathing in deep to the belly. Each time we breathe in deep, we stimulate those vagal nerves, calming our nervous system. The breath in yoga is powerful, and the breath in modern westernized science is powerful. And modern science is just now learning how powerful it is. So, when you're ready, you might end your practice with your palms at the heart center once again in Anjali Mudra. You might cultivate some of that love energy if it feels good for a moment, and then find stillness. This practice isn't easy. It's messy. So often we discover parts of ourselves that we didn't know existed, that we weren't ready for. And so we let this practice be messy. We allow ourselves to meet ourselves here in this curated space, to breathe, to move, to feel, to get it wrong, to get it right, and then to come back again and again, because this is just the practice. All of these tools we take into everyday life to live yoga off the mat. It's a powerful, powerful life. Thank you for practicing with me this morning. The light and the dark in me sees the light and the dark in you, and we are the same. All right.